morning to you. Happy Friday. Welcome in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Thrilled to have you with me. I am the host, Monica Adams. We're going to be visiting with aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore in just a second. And we're taking the show on the road. Well, kind of. What we're going to start doing with this generational talk segment that we started a week ago is now heading out and taking over areas, businesses. I'm going to be popping in, maybe surprising you and saying, hey, do you want to talk about bridging the gap between our generations? Well, that's exactly what I did down in Chesterfield, where I get my hair done, Sheer Studios, and I asked a few stylists. And I'm going to ask our aspiring meteorologist, I'm going to put them on the hot seat in just a second. To all of you, I want to find out if you had the opportunity, and we're giving it to you, to talk to other generations. What would you want to say? What would you like them to know about your generation to help us understand better, to listen better, to respect better? And again, as I mentioned, to bridge the gap between the generations. So we'll do that today. Each one of those stylists I spoke with, each had something different. However, what I found interesting, one of them talks about something that's weighing heavily on her mind about her generation, and she's 19, and it's going to mirror what I bet you a lot of you, no matter what your age, have heard from relatives over the years. I'll just tease you with that. We've got some news you can use, some sports news. We'll talk about our upcoming mobile Monicas, and be sure to keep an eye on the crawl on the bottom of the screen so that you always know where we're going to be so you can come out and join us. We have one this weekend that we'd like for you to come out to, which is the Sugar Creek Winery Judgment Tree Distillery. Huge end of year celebration. It's been so nice getting emails and text messages from so many of you that say, hey, I'm coming and I'm bringing a bunch of people. Great. Weather-wise, everybody was saying, I hope that we're going to have good weather. Well, let's find out with our What the Weather segment.
Good afternoon and welcome back into this new More Weather Forecast video. Have a great day, St. Louis. Stay prepared out there.
And he keeps us prepared. If you haven't seen him, this is our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. I hope you've seen him because he's been on with us now almost a year. We're just a few weeks shy of celebrating 1 year with him, which is just unbelievable. I put the rain behind us again. Beckett and I were talking just a few seconds ago saying, I feel like we're living in London. It's like fog and drizzle almost every morning. Is it going to stop this weekend or no?
It's actually not. We're going to see maybe a few peaks of sunshine with less rain tomorrow, but it's going to continue on Sunday and all the way till Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll talk about the weather in just a second. How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was just a great day overall. Christmas Eve, we went to Mass and then came home, watched some Christmas movies, woke up, did the presents on Christmas Day, and it was fun.
I don't know if I've asked you, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
I would say my favorite one is Home Alone, and Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2, both of them, I like them equally. And then I'd also like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, those ones as well.
Yep, love Rudolph, love the message behind Rudolph, and bullying is actually, talked about a lot in that. We watched It's a Wonderful Life yesterday, which Jim said no matter how many times he watches it, he always tears up at the end. He's like, I know what's going to happen. Why do I cry every time? So I hope a lot of you had a chance to do just that, kind of chill. It was kind of gloomy out, so maybe just sitting and binge watching a bunch of Christmas movies. So weather-wise, as we go into tomorrow, so we have our big end-of-year celebration out at Sugar Creek Winery. They do have an enclosed patio, which is what we're debuting. There's a fireplace in there, but is it going to be warm tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to get into the 50s and not expecting a lot of rain tomorrow.
Good.
Tomorrow's going to be one of the only days throughout the next really 5 or 6 days where we don't have rain. We're expecting actually a couple peaks of sunshine, but pretty much overcast throughout the day.
Okay, so I'm going to let Beckett do the weather, and then I've got a couple of things, so hang tight after the weather forecast. One, I want to know if you've ever tried this particular thing, and then I'm going to ask you, since you're a generation that we haven't had a chance to talk to, the teenagers, I want you to answer that question for me. Just be thinking about that. No, not too much pressure on you, but if you could ask that to any generation, it would be interesting, whether you go younger or whether you go older. So we'll do that in just a second, but let's go ahead and turn it over to Beckett for the forecast.
All right, sounds good. So looking at the current conditions right now, we got a temperature of around 50 degrees at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. There is some light rain around. This just got updated, but isn't updated right now. There is some light rain, some showers, as you can tell if you've been outside today around the St. Louis area. Now, looking at the hour by hour forecast again this morning, 7 to 8 a.m., around 50 degrees. That's continuing until 9, and then we continue to warm up towards the afternoon with a high of around 55 today. But rain in and out of the area. There's going to be showers around the area pretty much all day today. Then, looking at the nightly forecast, 5 p.m., 55 with some showers lingering around, and then that temperature is going to drop just a bit as we head towards 10 p.m. to 54. That is pretty warm for this time of the year, mostly cloudy skies. Now looking at tomorrow's forecast, 48 at 8 a.m., then really warming up to around 55, 12 p.m., and even more to 57 by 4 p.m., but again, cloudy throughout the day. Now, again, looking at the 7-day forecast, 55 degrees today with that 90% chance of rain, low 47 tonight. Now, going into tomorrow, high of around 60. And if you look at the average high is 42. So that is way above average. A couple of peaks of sunshine are possible morning through midday. Another chance of rain on Sunday with a high of 56, 40% chance of rain. Monday, cloudy, 55. And then Tuesday, 45, and another chance of rain, 40% chance of rain. But it does look sunny as we head towards New Year's Day and towards late next week.
Well, nice to see the sun coming out, but definitely seeing those colder temperatures start to take over, which again, we can't complain. We're heading into New Year, and it's
Yeah.
January, and it should be colder. Okay, so here's my question for you. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Have you had one of these before?
I don't think so.
It's National Fruitcake Day today.
Oh yeah, I thought that's what that was. Yeah,
Have you
I don't know if I've ever had one.
I don't know that you would want one.
Yeah. Doesn't look great.
That's awesome. It doesn't look great. Here's the thing. When I was your age and I first tried that, I thought it was disgusting. However, there are some recipes out there, and all of you feel free to drop them in if you think, no, I've got the best fruitcake recipe. You've got to try it. It is so heavy, Beckett. You can throw it like a rock.
Really? Wow.
Right? That doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
Big, heavy
Yeah.
fruit. All right, you all let us know. Do you like, so tell me this. So we're going to be really interactive today. Are you on the fruitcake bandwagon, or are you over here with me and Beckett that we just don't think it? I don't know. Beckett needs to try it, and then he
Yeah, I'll have to try it. Yeah.
yeah, you have to try it before we say it. But I have tried. I've tried many, and I just think people used to give those as presents. So
Really?
yeah, you might get a fruitcake for a present.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, and then we started a new segment. So today is the second episode of this. We started generational talk. So I didn't get a chance to have you on that particular show. So let me ask you that question. You have the opportunity because I'm giving it to you. As your generation, what do you wish other generations would understand more about your generation to help kind of bridge that gap between all generations and really having respect more?
Mm, that's tough. I don't really know.
I threw this on him. I want you to think about it because I'd like to hear from you. So Beckett is 15. You're gonna hear from a 19-year-old and then early to mid 20s. We want to get people from 30s, 40s on up. So talk with your parents. Maybe you can talk with your twin sister. I'd love for you to give us some clips that we can drop in later, but think about that one. So just think about maybe it's teachers, maybe it's parents, maybe it's friends that are like maybe a little bit younger. So that's the question of your generation. You know, for me, what I was talking about on that show about a week ago is that all too often the older generation looks at the younger generation and says they're lazy, they're entitled, they don't want to work, they ghost, all these things. Your generation, a little bit younger than that. What's your generation called? Do you know?
Would it be Gen Z, I think?
Yeah, I think you are. I
I
think you
think
still. We'll
I'm
have
in
to look
Gen
at.
Z.
Yeah, we'll have to look at birth dates to see if your birth
Mhm.
years to see if you're still in that. But I put you on the hot spot, so think about that one for me, will you?
I will.
And then I'd love for you to say that to your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, and then tape some clips because we'd like to drop you in and include you in that in the future.
All right, great.
Okay, have a fantastic weekend, and then we'll see you as we get ready to wrap up 2024.
You too. See you then.
All right, Beckett, thank you. It is 7:10, and how about all of you? You're going to listen to some of these clips, and I don't want to be the only one weighing in. So I'm going to weigh in on what these girls, again, I went to Sheer Studios down in Chesterfield and asked them that exact question. And I'm going to ask all of you. And I also want to carry forward what our intern, Hannah, who just wrapped up her internship, one of the things that she said, and our technical director, Zach, one of the things that he said that was a carryover, because it was a pretty long show. It was like a good hour and 45 minutes that we talked amongst ourselves. It was Michelle, myself, Hannah, Tia, and Zach all weighing in on topics that we would like to talk about, and how there's things in our generation that maybe don't make sense to the younger generation, etc. Okay, let's see. William Wells, Hallmark is having 50% off. Well, hey, thank you for letting us know that. Audra says, my grandmother sent one every year for Christmas. Yuck. We're talking about fruitcakes. Happy New Year, William. Where are you watching from, by the way? Let's see. William is on YouTube. Well, hi, William. Great to have you. Okay, Kathleen says no to fruitcake. Michelle hashtagged it for you. Michelle, I'd like to know, do you like fruitcakes? Kathleen, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Julie Purcell, Sean Fitzgerald. For those of you that are new to the show, feel free to drop in hello and where you're watching from. Okay. All right. Let's give a little news you can use, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do our continuation of generational talk. So we talked a little bit. Actually, you heard Beckett mention Lambert Airport. Well, St. Louis's Lambert Airport is estimating 80,000 travelers ahead of New Year's Eve. And that is a time period from Thursday through Sunday. Did you travel? Because again, a lot of the people that do the numbers on this, they talk about travel, whether it is by airplane, by car, by train, maybe by bike. I don't know if they all put into that, but usually it's planes, trains, and automobiles, just like the movie. Are you traveling for New Year's? Some people are getting ready to do their vacation or holiday, right? So you go into other countries and they call it holiday, and they have a heck of a lot longer off than we do here in the United States. That's why I always used to talk about wanting to live in another country. They've got like a month or 2 months or 3 months sometimes for holiday, but 80,000 travelers ahead of New Year's Eve. And as I say that, how many of you, please interact with us, how many of you were affected by American Airlines and that technical glitch? I mentioned that the last time we were together on Christmas Eve, about how all of the flights were canceled and shut down. And that made for a lot of very angry travelers. Now, I don't know when that technical glitch was fixed and when you were all able to travel again, but I'm so sorry if you were stuck in that and having to be rerouted, if you had to rent a car, if they put you on another airline. Let us know if you were affected by that. And then in health news, whooping cough, the cases are the highest they've been in a decade. Unfortunately, it's surging in the United States, and it does not look like it's slowing down. According to a report from CNN, it's been surging. According to the CDC, there have been 32,000 cases reported so far this year. It's about 6 times more than there were this time last year. It can be serious for all ages. However, as you know, children younger than 1 are particularly sensitive. Vaccination, they say, is the best way to protect against the contagious respiratory illness. Symptoms, by the way, similar to the common cold. However, a painful body cough can develop that can last for weeks, or for some, even months. So that's not good health news. And I found this interesting. New Missouri Veterans Mental Health Office is aiming to reduce our veteran suicide. There's been a lot of people over the years that have gotten into the challenge of doing so many push-ups for our veterans, because it used to be 1 in 10, then 1 in 5. And now I think it got into like 1 in 3 of our veterans, when they come back and try to transfer into the civilian life and they just don't feel like they can, that depression settles in. We do a lot of mental health talks on this show and trying to come out of that depression, letting them know that we're here for them and hoping that they get help. Well, out of Jefferson City, Missouri's, again, one of the highest veteran suicide rates in the country. This is a newly formed state department now, hoping to lessen that number. Every year, our state loses nearly 200 veterans to suicide, according to data from the U.S. Veterans Department. Missouri's veteran suicide rate, one of the highest in the entire country. 7 out of every 100 veterans experience post-traumatic stress disorder, and thousands of veterans die by suicide every year. However, the state's investing its resources to help our veterans. There is a woman by the name of Lindsay Ward, that's Missouri's first Veterans Suicide Prevention Manager, a new position created after Governor Mike Parson signed two bills making the Veterans Commission create a new program in an effort to prevent veteran suicide. Ward actually served in the Marine Corps for 16 years in addition to her regular service. She was a substance abuse counselor and a sexual assault victims advocate. After her service, she got a degree in sociology, and she said her years of service helped her understand the plight that other veterans face after leaving the military. One of the biggest things that we've been talking about on the show is to talk about it. Say that you're not okay, and let's let others be there for you. But I love that this is forming. We mentioned in our show just a couple of weeks ago, or actually just a week ago, about the recalls. And our dietitian that was on, Jennifer McDaniel, said that she actually looked into the FDA and it's not actually higher, but maybe we're just hearing about it more in the news. Well, Costco now, their egg recall is classified as the highest risk level according to the FDA. Again, they said a recall of organic eggs that were sold at Costco is now classified as the highest risk level for potential salmonella contamination. The upgraded level means there is a reasonable probability that a recalled product will cause serious adverse health consequences or death. And it comes about a month after New York-based Handsome Brook Farms voluntarily recalled nearly 11,000 of the eggs. The 24-count packages of organic pasture-raised eggs were sold under the Kirkland Signature brand. They were distributed to 25 Costco stores in Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. They have a use-by date of January 6th. So far, no reports of anyone getting sick. So that's the good news. But for any of you that traveled, or maybe you're still there, and aunts and uncles and moms and dads and grandparents are trying to serve you eggs, I don't know, make sure you check the cartons. Also, about 10,000 pounds of meat products have been recalled. See, I'm telling you, it just continues. More than 10,000 pounds of raw pork sausage and bologna are being pulled from store shelves and restaurant kitchens. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, they actually issued two separate recall notices. The first involving nearly 7,500 pounds of raw pork sausage products from Baltimore-based Impero Foods and Meats. The USDA said the meat was produced without federal inspection. How the heck does it get through without that? The second recall affects more than 3,100 pounds of ready-to-eat pork and bologna products from Ralph's Packing Company. Authorities said the items are not labeled correctly. They may contain milk, which of course is a known allergen. For more information about the specific products being recalled, you can visit the U.S. Department of Agriculture's website. All right, for all my gamers, this next one is for you. A look at the 2024 Game of the Year winner. What do you think it is? It's Astrobot. Again, I'm not a gamer. I know nothing about any of these, but I thought we should throw it in here for you. Released earlier this year, Astrobot went on to win the top honor of Game of the Year at the annual Game Awards. And Astrobot is an action game for the PlayStation 5 in which you go on an adventure with a little robot called Astro. Across the journey you have to rescue Astro's crew of little robots. And the creative team behind Astrobot kept two audiences in mind while making the game: experienced gamers. Oh, and first-time players. That would be me. First established in 2014, the Game Awards typically take place near the end of the year, and they showcase upcoming video games, as well as recognize the best games released in the current year. So congratulations to Astrobot. Have any of you played? Have your kids played? In sports news, the St. Louis Blues in action after coming off that big win against the Detroit Red Wings. That, of course, was on the road, so this is their first game back since that game. They will be playing the Nashville Predators tonight at the home ice at 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, the Sabres are coming to town playing the Blues at 2 p.m. And then the Blues get ready to go to the Windy City. They will be playing at Wrigley Field. Of course, that gets turned into ice, some of it. The Blues and the Blackhawks. Tuesday, December 31st, it's a 4 o'clock face-off, and that is for those of you going to the Winter Classic. Have you seen one? I saw it when I was actually here in St. Louis, but exciting to go and travel. Actually, I think our own Tia Tricamo, I think that is why she's going to Chicago. And she might even be heading out already, or at least this weekend. She's going to see the Winter Classic. It's a really exciting time if you've never had a chance to see one, or you can sit at home and, of course, cheer them on by just being in the comfort of your home. All right, there we go. 7:20. You are up to date. Before we take the break, let me see if any of you have commented on some of the things that we were talking about. I believe Michelle said she can honestly say she's never tried a fruitcake. Okay, so she and Beckett both need to try that. Sherry says no fruitcake. Good morning to you. Have you tried meat pie? That doesn't sound good either. No, William, I have not. That sounds nasty. Let's see. Oh, are you in Oklahoma? Is that what you said? Or are you saying okay to me? Where are you watching from? I don't think I've talked with him before. Help is available for veterans. Yes, thank you, Michelle. So Michelle, by the way, is moderating for you because Hannah just wrapped up her internship. So I know a lot of you love Michelle is really quick on giving you everything that you need. So say hi to Michelle and tell her thanks for coming back as the moderator, Kathy. But I will say this: I know I would prefer for a lot of other things that Michelle would like to do on the team. So let me just solicit with this. If you've got anyone that is younger that is looking to join our team as an intern, we would love to teach them, be leaders for them, and whether they are in broadcast communication, whether they're in journalism, mass communication, or social media, anything really that's morphing into what media will be looking like for our generation, by the way, as we get ready to do generational talk. So think about that and then reach out to me. Let me put my email address up on the screen for you. It is info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And this, of course, talks about if you'd like to become a sponsor, if you have guests or topics. I had somebody reach out to me with a really interesting topic yesterday. So email right there, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and let's talk about that. Let's see. Michelle's doing a great job dropping everything in. Yes, she says she's back. Okay, yeah, you are from Oklahoma. Well, thank you, William. In fact, there's a woman who watches us on Instagram on a regular basis. She said she wished that she was closer so that she could come to our big celebration tomorrow. And I said, well, where do you live? Like, I'm driving about an hour. You know where she said? She's in the UK. So Angela Gibbons, who watches us on a regular basis on Instagram, thank you, by the way, all the way in the UK. So yes, the Real Monica Adams Show is reaching, not just in the United States, but in other countries as well, because we are on multiple platforms. And as we get ready to take the break, good morning, Stephanie, to you as well. We are on Facebook. 2 different Facebook, my Monica Adams business page, which is where we interact together. So for those of you that might drop comments in and you're watching on my personal page, which is my Monica Adams Quentin page, understand that those don't pop up, unfortunately, in my moderation here on this program. So be sure to pop over if you want to interact with us. And I do want you to do so today on my Monica Adams page on Facebook. And then we are on LinkedIn. We're on YouTube, X, Rumble, and Instagram. And I will be popping around as much as I can to make sure that you're all heard. Nathan Russell is another one watching from Louisville, Kentucky. Well, hello, Miss St. Louis, and you, along with many others on Fox 2 News. We enjoy this show. Well, thank you, Nathan. And, I miss all my friends as well. I was walking the dogs yesterday. There was a guy from Ameren, so shout out to Brandon. We sat and talked for a while. As soon as I walked around the corner with the dogs, he was like, Monica Adams, I used to love you on Fox 2. And I said, I'm not there any longer. I went from Fox over to KSTK, and then I left to launch this show. And so Nathan and William and all the rest of you that have either been watching from the beginning, or maybe you were turned on to this show from somebody else. If you happened upon it, great. If somebody turned you on to the show, let us know who that is. I'd like to thank them, because that's what we ask you to do, to share and like and follow our live stream so that we can continue to reach the masses and do what? One very important thing: start your morning the right way, with positivity. Now, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with generational talk. But I'd like to see you tomorrow. Where are we going to be? Are you ready to celebrate the holidays? How about coming out to wine country with the Real Monica Adams Show? Right now, I am sitting in the new enclosed patio with Sugar Creek Winery and Judgment Tree Distillery. So if you like good wine, or maybe you like vodka or brandy, they've got it all for you. And on December 28th from 1:30 to 3 p.m., we're going to be broadcasting live right here. I want to see you, so start making plans. It's going to be a big day from noon to 6 of great food, great wine, wonderful music. More importantly, kindness among friends and family. Won't you join us? December 28th, we'll see you with the Real Monica Adams Show.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And I want to thank my dear friend Dot. I now can say it. She purchased a session with me with my design and wardrobe consulting and surprised her hubby with a customized coat for him. So yeah, I mean, we can do everything from jeans to athletic kind of wear, kind of like the Lululemon stuff. But I've been told by a lot of people that they like this even more. Maybe maybe got a golfer that would like some new polos, hoodies, all the way up, of course, to more of the custom jackets and tuxedos and things like that. So yes, if you didn't know, I've been in the fashion industry for a long time, and I'm excited. Monday, we're going to bring Faith Berger in, who's also been in the fashion industry. We'll talk about her storied history in St. Louis, what she's doing now, beautiful paintings on rugs. What? That's so cool. And Canvas for Kids, a brand new program that she's starting and launching with several branches of the library here in town. So Faith will be our guest on Monday. And then we got a really cool show on Tuesday. We will be on the road in Fenton. Yeah, we're going somewhere really cool. It's going to be myself and Michelle and Zach. We're going to sit down and we're going to recap what some of their favorite stories were from 2024, whether they were stories in the news that we didn't get a chance to cover, or maybe they were segments and stories that we did. But I want you to think back and maybe go scrolling through, because for those of you that are new to the show, you've got 400 plus shows you got to play catch up on. You don't have to watch them all, but do me a favor and look at the thumbnails and grab the ones that matter to you. Maybe listen to them or go to the audio podcast platforms and you can listen to shows there, because we drop a podcast every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. If you don't know that, outside of this wonderful talk show that we launched about over a year and a half ago, you've got 400 plus shows that hopefully resonate with you. And if not, scroll to the next one. But yeah, play catch up or go back to that before Tuesday, because I definitely want you to be interactive with us and let us know what stood out to you in 2024. Okay. All right. 727. One of the segments that I just launched near the end of this year was generational talk just about a week ago. And we launched the Barking Baker. And that was a big hit. I've had a lot of emails of people saying, oh my gosh, I loved seeing the dogs, loved seeing you interact with them, loved seeing your goofy side. So that will be something that we will carry forward. And I've got an idea, by the way, to incorporate the Barking Baker. Will we take the girls and boy on the road, or maybe just one of them, Adelaide, because she's Miss Social, and we go to help our rescue dogs at Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue and get a chance to see their personality and maybe help them get adopted, because that's what it's all about, right? Helping them. And of course, other rescues. There's just some amazing people in our area doing wonderful work. Okay, so if you didn't see Generational Talk, what I'm asking, and I want to go around, this is something now new that my mind's just always thinking. Why don't we bring the Real Monica Adams team to your business and we get a chance to sit down with you? It's not a mobile Monica per se, but I'm going to tape you and get your employees and yourself involved in talking about this. And as we go around, whether it's the Missouri side, Illinois side, or maybe we go out of our states and we start talking about how we bring more kindness in the generations together, because that's what it is. For me, it's all about listening really well to what they're saying, communicating really well, keeping an open mind and saying, now I understand why you feel this way. And it really helps to bridge the gap. Okay. So you're going to hear from some of the stylists at Sheer Studios in Chesterfield as we listen to them. I'm going to come out of it, give you my feedback on it, but then I'd like to hear from you. Before we do that, let's see. I would like to see the end of Scammers. William, so would I. It's just absolutely annoying. And anybody else before we move on to our generational talk? Okay, no, we've heard from everybody. Again, if you didn't know, Michelle's back dropping in a ton of really wonderful things. So be sure to click on those because she spends a lot of time on that. And as I mentioned, please do what you see at the bottom here. Share, like, and follow It's important. Subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Just click the subscribe button if you're on YouTube, or follow on all the rest so that you get the notification when we're on so you can interact with us. Okay, generational talk. Again, going down and talking to our youth this time. Now we'll flip-flop next week as we go into 2025. And I'd like to get into maybe 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Hey, I'd love to find a 100-year-old and find out what they wish the younger generation understood about their generation. Okay, let's give it a listen.
I'm Maddie Thomas, and I'm 19 years old. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm here at Shear Studios in Chesterfield. Something that I wish that the old generation knew about the new generation is that you don't always need a college degree to be successful, and you can do so many things without one and be just as successful. My family has given me very, very hard times about not being able to be successful in the hair industry or any without a college degree, but here I am, and I'm ready to reach my goals and prove all of them wrong.
All right, so Maddie was the first of the three stylists. Okay, let's absorb that for a second. How many of you just went to a Christmas Eve function, a Christmas Day function, or maybe you're getting ready to go to a New Year's Eve party as we get into the next year, and you're dreading it because of that particular comment or question or pressure? I want to say, Maddie, thank you, by the way, for being so unbelievably raw and real. We taped another one that I'm going to drop in social media. And I said, you know what, let's do another one that I'm going to put on the show. And she's like, yeah, I just wish my parents, I said, say that. If you're willing, say that. Because I hope that her parents get a chance to hear this, and relatives that give them a chance. So many of you, right, in the older generations, I'm sure heard it before. Think about the career field that you chose. And did you get pushback from your family? People that say they're going to drop out of school. I mean, there's some really successful stories from business owners here in our area to celebrities that never went to school. And then look at them. We're still talking about these people to this day. I don't want to name anyone in particular because there's so many. I mean, look in the history books. I'll give you one. My father had to drop out and didn't even get a chance to get his high school. I think he finally got his GED, but he dropped out in 9th grade, I believe, because he had to do what? Support his family. He lost his mom at a very younger age. She was sick at the time. So he had to help his father to be one of the main breadwinners, right? He's got to go get this job or multiple jobs. I watched him work hard my entire life until he passed, unfortunately, at 59. But think about that. So was he mocked or ridiculed or laughed at? I don't know. Was he bullied? Like, hey, you don't have a degree in high school. You didn't go to college, but well, like I said, I think he finally got his GED, which is so admirable. But think about what she's saying there. Weigh in on that. And why? I guess it's from a protection mode. Is that what it is? Because I'm not a parent. Do parents say that because they're so fearful that they're going to fail and they just want to protect them? And they think going and becoming a hairstylist, well, that's not going to make you any money. Really? I mean, what is she going to do with it? She's passionate about it. What do you think? What do you think about what Maddie had to say there? Let's see. You go prove them wrong, right? That's what she's saying. So let me pop over here to Instagram. Anybody there? So what do you think about that? And how many of you, again, and you can weigh in because we have 2 more we're going to drop in, weigh in on any of that. Or do me a favor, text someone right now or give them a call. If it's too early, you can text them and then maybe they can drop a comment in when they watch the show on replay. Just do #replay for me. But I know, if you're willing, that a lot of you, like Maddie, have heard that probably from parents. I don't care what generation you are. The comment, you're going to do what? I remember when I said I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to go in, well, I went into modeling. I've done spokesperson work. So guess what? These things that I wanted to do, I do have them sprinkled in as maybe side hustles. But what if that's what I wanted to do? What if I wanted to run away to Hollywood and go try my hand at being an actress? Do you think my parents would have supported it? I don't know. I don't know that my mom's on right now, but I'd like that answer. I think my mom would have. I think she would have been a little nervous, maybe a little scared because your kids are going away. Again, Maddie's 19 and she decided college isn't for me. Who knows? But sometimes maybe you're brought back to it. Tessa said, so happy that your show is so successful. Well, Tessa, you're very sweet. Thank you so much. Okay, Sherry, who, by the way, is their boss. Sherry eventually will, wink, wink, do a video for me, and like to hear from her because Sherry is in the next generation. She's in her upper 30s. And she said that some of them said that they're in a tough position right now, in your mid 20s and you're looking forward to 30, and then you're in your upper 30s and you're like, okay, do I want to go backwards? It's, sometimes trying to not live in the moment of it. Sherry said, I told my kids to do whatever will make you happy and make you enough to live the life that you want to live. College, trade, all great options. Okay. I missed a second. Is there a younger girl who wants to be a hairstylist and is getting pushback? My stylist makes way more money than I ever did with my college degree. So you are on YouTube as well. It looks like JSMSTL. Is this James? Or tell me what your name is. And are you brand new? I'm seeing a lot of people weigh in from YouTube. I love this. Sherry, yes, I know. Sherry, you will. Thank you very much. So yes, that is exactly what it is. She is a stylist, and you're going to hear from two others, but she actually just started in this. She's 19 years old. Sherry, go ahead and tell us, how talented is she? Maddie is her name. Yes, she is getting pushback. And I absolutely agree with you. They can make some serious money, and there's so many things that they can go. Oh, Jill, okay. You gave up Facebook. Oh, Jill. Okay, see, that's why we're on multiple platforms. So Jill didn't want to be on that anymore, so we've got her on YouTube. Yes, hi Jill, good to see you, and thank you, by the way, again for all that you do with your wonderful son Beckett, our aspiring meteorologist. That is exactly what she's getting. She's getting pushback, she said, from the older generation and from her parents, saying, maybe I've heard this comment before. You want to do what? You want to go cut hair? Why don't you get something a little bit more stable? And that's the way their mind thinks. But you're absolutely correct, Jill. There's a lot of really good money that can be made. Well, let me tell you this. I've said that if I eventually wanted to go away from all the other things that I'm doing, that I would go back to bartending. I think it is a very admirable field, and I made some incredible money as a waitress and a bartender. But for me, I enjoy bartending more than waitressing. But how many people have been in that profession, still are to this day, and have people look down upon you, which is what I don't want. I mean, I still dabble in Facebook, but I took it off my phone. Gotcha. Well, Jill, thank you again for watching on our other platforms. So yes, think about that for a second. Feel free to weigh in on it. That was Maddie, but we talked to two other stylists as well. Listen to this one. I think this might resonate with you.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I am 26 years old in St. Louis, Missouri, and today we're hanging out at Shear Studios in the Valley. And one thing I wish that the older generation understood is that not everything needs to be on a timeline basis. I feel like there's just so much pressure to get things done by certain ages, and I think that everyone just needs to go at their own pace.
So what do you think about that? Again, this is something new that I started where I'm going to be going to businesses and checking in with business owners and their employees and letting them weigh in just like this. So if you would like for us, our team, to come to you and tape you, let me know. This is something new, exciting, getting a chance to spotlight your business. And Michelle's dropping in Shear Studios. We'll give you all the information. We need to go there and showcase it, by the way, because last time you saw Sherry and me together, it was at the lofts that she was at, but she opened her dream, right? So think about that. Think if her parents said, you're going to do what? You're going to go into what field? And actually, Sherry, tell me, did you get the same kind of pushback? She's been in the field for 2 decades, and here she is opening her dream. It's beautiful, by the way, absolutely stunning, down in the valley, right there adjacent to where a lot of people know where Annie Gunn's is, or the Brinkman building. Shout out, by the way, to Bob Brinkman. I was texting with him over the last couple of days. In fact, I believe God's speaking through our mutual friend who passed away, Henry Lovelace. That's where I first met Bob. I used to personal train in the Brinkman office in Chesterfield almost 30 years ago, well, 1999, let's put it that way. That's where I first became a personal trainer. And God rest her soul, Bob lost his beautiful wife, Kim, after a pretty 2.5-year battle. But he told me that they were able to spend some incredible time together. They saw some beautiful places. She was amazing, by the way, in the Pilates field. So rest in peace, Kim Brinkman. But yeah, I'm going to reach out to Bob. I've got some ideas maybe of moving forward of things that we can do together. Maybe we go to talk to his guys on the construction site. Sherry says, let's see, let me go back because I know she said something about Maddie. She is incredible and she capitalized incredible, a star. she and the Sheer Studio stylist will go far. And here's the thing, and this is the reason why. Sherry is making sure that she teaches and leads in the field. She says, ooh, you know my story. It's possible, and I would not change it for the world. I love doing hair. It's more than just hair, from first cut to last and everything in between. And by the way, I want to thank Sherry. She just rescued what would have been a nightmare for a friend of mine who said she had orange hair. She didn't get what she wanted. And like 2 days later, because you know how difficult, well, you could think about this. Think about how difficult it is when you just have color put on your hair and then you're asking somebody to switch it around. So she worked her magic. And that person was so very, very thrilled that she immediately pre-booked her next one. So yes, they can make you feel incredible. Stephanie, I wanted to be a sportscaster, but chose to be a chef instead. Cooked for 45 years. Stephanie, where'd you cook, by the way? Because I know you told us that. But how cool. You wanted to be a sportscaster. Why the veer in the road, by the way? Did you feel pressure to not do it? I'm trying to think when I went into radio. Yeah, I see that's the thing. I always had support. I wanted to be a physician. I think you all know that. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon, actually. I was gearing all my studies to sports medicine, physical therapy, athletic training, did a lot of that at Mizzou, Missouri Valley, my first year, then Mizzou, then came back, took all of my electives, and wanted to go and transfer back to Mizzou, but that wasn't the story that God had written for me, and I followed the path he laid in front of me, and I continue to do so, but I use my studies, obviously, in my personal training and continue to do so over the last, 20 something years, almost 30 years. So did my parents say, no matter what, you're going back and you are going to be a doctor? Nope. My mom said, you do whatever you want to do. I want to support you. And that's what you would hope that you would get. So Maddie didn't get that. But let's think about this again. Let me play this one more time. So listen again to what she says here about a timeline.
Hi, my name is Taylor. I am 26 years old in St. Louis, Missouri, and today we're hanging out at Sheer Studios in the Valley. And one thing I wish that the older generation understood is that not everything needs to be on a timeline basis. I feel like there's just so much pressure to get things done by certain ages, and I think that everyone just needs to go at their own pace.
So there you go. What comment do you have for her? Taylor, I agree with you. So she might be incorporating the same thing of, well, I did this and I'm doing this and here's my age. Again, we're talking now into like the low to mid 20s, early to mid 20s, I should say it that way. And so timeline, that also has to do with something. And before we take the break, I want you to let this marinate for a second. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, again, all the way up, 80, 90, 100. How many of you, and I'm thinking about my mother's generation, how many of them were in their early to mid 20s and told, if you're in your mid 20s and you're not married, you're an old maid? That was actually what I was telling the girls. They're getting that kind of pushback going into a party, going to see relatives. How many of you, girls probably more than guys usually get this, how many of you have been asked or do ask the question, are you getting married? Are you two dating? How long you've been dating? When are you going to have kids? I got that all the time. And how do you think that hurts? Because here I am today, never had children and was always asked, well, don't you want to get married? Don't you want to have kids? Yes. And as she just said, it will happen in my time frame. And guess what? If I had pushed to get married to anybody else, I don't know if it would have worked. I know this does. I know it's an incredible relationship. Jim and I finally got a chance, by the way, to celebrate our Christmas. I don't know if I had a chance to tell any of you, but Jim had food poisoning. So here's a little tip for you. Don't eat slimy lunch meat. He actually said the ham that he had was a little slimy. He said he did throw that one away, but then he went to the chicken and turkey, but it had been the same time frame. I was a little worried with all the listeria and E. coli that we have out there that he had that. He didn't. He just had, he had food poisoning, and it ruined his Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. He wasn't able to go and spend time with all of us at my mom's house or my brother's house. So we did our Christmas together yesterday. So shout out to Jamie and Clay and the staff at Trattoria Marcella. Oh my gosh, what an amazing meal we had, and hanging afterwards at the bar, just talking to Clay and the team. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that was our celebration together. But I sat there and thought about it. And then we came home and we talked for hours. I don't think I went to bed till about 11:30, but Jim and I had such a wonderful night last night talking about those kind of things that he and I were apart from each other for about 11 years, found our way back to each other a little bit later in life. So it wasn't in the cards for us to have kids, but that's absolutely what we were asked. Like, we just got back together and people were already asking us, when are you getting married? I'm thinking, it's been 11 years. We had a lot to catch up on. But within that first year, it was, when are you getting married? Second year. By 3 years in, we got engaged and then got married in 2015. And here we are leading this wonderful life. But do you not think there's people that still think, oh, you should have got married younger, or you should have had children, or you should have gone to the path of a doctor? You shoulda. Instead of let them live their life. Stephanie said, back in the day, both positions were male dominated fields, sportscasters and chefs. I cooked in the hospitals and embassy suites. Well, Stephanie, you'll have to cook for us sometime. She's probably like, no, I threw the chef hat off. Michelle, so happy I was never pressured to get married or have a baby. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yes, Trattoria, by the way, one of our all-time favorites. We love Trattoria Marcella. We also, though, love Trattoria Giuseppe. So if you're looking for two of the best Italian restaurants in our area, one is down just off the hill area around that Chippewa-Watson portion. And we were very careful, by the way, when we drove by Ted Drew's lot, saw somebody running across the street. Just scares me so much. Obviously, all the Christmas trees are gone, but it was packed last night with the beautiful weather that we have. Went down to Trattoria Marcella, but Trattoria Giuseppe, put that on your list. Trattoria Giuseppe. It's in Imperial, and Joe and Grace are the owners, and the food is to die for. Okay? I'm just going to say that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, another one of the stylists from Sheer Studios weighing in on our second episode of Generational Talk. And then Michelle was there with me. We were interacting with our team, and there's a couple of things that were on the docket that I want you to know about that they had to say, which I thought was pretty interesting. So we're going to get to that when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
One of our things we always say is we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies, but giving back to the community, supporting the community, collaborating with other businesses.
Base pace. Now we give parameters here. Power walkers generally use incline. Yeah, I know.
Go, girls, go.
Because you're not only getting some great local roasted coffee, you're getting good people.
Good people is what it's about. And by the way, that person who turned up their nose, karma is that you know what.
Everyone needs to be kind. And it starts really with the adults. And then it goes down because we're the ones that are instilling this in our children, in our families, and everything thereafter.
We are live on location. And this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move. And I would love to bring a Mobile Monica to you. Again, we've got one tomorrow, a big end of year celebration. We will be at Sugar Creek Winery, Judgment Tree Distillery on the same property. So come on down 94 and see us. 12 to 6 is the big celebration. Our broadcast 1:30 to 3 p.m. We're going to sit down with Becky and the staff with Sugar Creek, and we're going to go back 30 years and talk about that dream. And then we're going to look at the progression and move forward. Cannot wait to show you all of this again tomorrow afternoon. We'd love to see you. I'll be there a little bit early setting up. We'll stay a little bit later and would love to have some merriment with you. Then coming up in January on the 9th, we will be at the Hardee's off of 44 as we join Gentry Trotter from Heat Up St. Louis. St. Louis Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson's going to be there, and others helping those who do not have the funds to even be able to heat their home. So if you're not familiar with Heat Up St. Louis, come on out to that one. And then I can't wait to see Jen Manis and the staff at the original location of Hello, Juice, and Smoothie. Come on, how many of you have been there? I love this. Confidence, ease, calm, joy, kind, happy. Yes, they have 2 locations. Let me put them up here for you. Do me a favor, stop by and tell them, hey, I heard about you and I haven't been here in a while, or I've never been here. They have one in Kirkwood. That's their newest location at 10463 Manchester Road, or the Grove, the original location that I found back in my Fox 2 days. I used to stop by there a lot for myself and then surprising my husband and my friends. That's 1000 South Newstead Avenue. And we will sit down with Jen and talk with her prior to our celebration that day, where we have an incredible time. And I'm going to debut something that day that you'll be able to try for 30 days, and we will be giving back to a charity near and dear to my heart. So again, January 23rd, Hello Juice, located in the Grove area. As I mentioned, though, before we do that, I want you to hear the full-blown story behind how Jen even got to that point. So Jen is going to be joining us in studio, and we'll get a chance to talk with her and a nutritionist that she is teamed up with, because they not only have the wonderful bowls and smoothies and all of that, but they also do Hello Eats. So for those of you that are struggling as you go into New Year's resolutions and you're thinking, I really need to eat better, but I don't have time to cook. Well, they've got these wonderful, very healthy, very good meals called Hello Eat. So Allison Lesko and Jen Manis will be my guest on Tuesday, January 14th. They will actually be in studio with us telling their story before we go there on January 23rd. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, welcome back. It is 7:50. We're doing generational talk, and we want to hear from one more of the stylists at Sheer Studios. They've got a lot, but these are the three ladies that I got a chance to talk to, and I really love what she says in this one.
Hey guys, I'm Noor. I'm 22 years old. I'm from St. Louis. We are located here today at Sheer Studios in Chesterfield. And a question that Monica asked me is, I wish that this generation was more aware. I feel like self-awareness is something that a lot of people lack. And when I say that, I feel like most people think of the term self-awareness and they hear bad, but I feel like it goes both ways, good and bad. I feel like a lot of people are not self-aware on how they affect others or themselves, and I feel like if people were just more aware in this generation, a lot of things would be different.
Okay, let's dissect that. What do you feel about that? Self-awareness. So I hear that from Nora, and I think more of the go, go, go mentality. And this really is a lot of generations. So there's a carryover there. So you think about the people who get into their field of choice and it's just work, work, work. Okay. I'm pointing fingers at myself. Work, 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 and not aware of what's going on and people being affected around you. It's also so into yourself that you're not listening to others. And that's what I think is the powerful thing about this new segment is listening. And again, we can hear from our team, or as we're doing today, getting a chance to sit down and listen to these young women, again, a 19-year-old and then early 20, mid 20-year-old. We heard from our generation, let's see, a 21-year-old, 23-year-old, 25-year-old. So we're still kind of in that generation that's younger. And then myself and Michelle in our early 50s. So I want to start putting the gap in the middle there. So we need some 30, 40-year-olds. If you want to tape and send me video clips, you can do so. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Some of you might put it into a messenger on Instagram or Facebook. That's fine. It'd be easier for me if we all put them and funnel them into one place. But start sending me clips from your home. Start asking at home. This is what I want. I want better communication. Parents, ask your kids. Well, Sherry is going to be doing a clip for me. Again, she's going to be able to fill in that 30, almost 40, an upper 30-year-old time for or age frame. And then I asked her to ask her kids who are in their teens, what do they feel that other generations are not listening to about them? Anything else that any of you want to say before we wrap up and we read from Jesus Listens? I want to put these two comments in. So from Zach said AI, and I'd like him, if he gets a chance next time we do this, to weigh in a little bit more. But what do you think about AI? That was his question. So for him, it'd be very interesting. He's very interested to see what younger, mid, older generation feels about AI. He wants to know if you think it's a positive or a negative. Do you think it's a detriment to society of what's going to happen or what is already happening and what is to come about AI? That was his question. He would like for other generations, I think, to keep an open mind from a technology standpoint. And then Hannah had a really interesting one, and I'm so confused by this. So I do need to text her and ask her, or maybe we can get her to watch this on replay. She said this. She said that she doesn't think that her generation, which again is in the early 20s, puts much of an emphasis on health as the older generation did. Now that one is blowing my mind, and here's why. Everywhere I look on Instagram and TikTok, their biggest platforms besides Snapchat, is this crazy exercise, that crazy exercise, one person trying to outdo the other person. And from a personal trainer, I look at it and go, it doesn't matter that you're doing this. It doesn't do any good. Oh, you're about ready to hurt yourself. And what are you doing it for? You're only doing it to try to outdo another influencer. Now, here's the thing. I don't think she's talking about that level of health. So it's, what is your determination of health? For two of them, Tia said the same thing. She's like, well, I think from a health standpoint, we're not, she likened it to that whole body scan that was done, right? So she's like, people don't have in our generation $999. Well, no. I get that. That's a generation that's probably going to be a little bit older, or someone's going to have to gift that to you that is older. We get that you're just starting out in your field and you don't have that. That's not, I guess, what I'm considering overall health, like the physical, mental, spiritual side. But they said that they believe they put, and I probably agree with this, they put more of an emphasis on mental health than a lot of the older generation did. I think I'd agree with that. What do you think? Because it's talked about more in their generation. And they felt so isolated during the pandemic and they lost social skills. The socialization has absolutely suffered for our younger generation, our middle, grade school, high school, college. They had to learn by this. So I think I'd agree with that, but I would love for her to go more in depth. But I thought those were interesting. Again, some great topics. I mean, this is endless. This is a phenomenal new segment. Let's see. Good morning, Anne. My dad wished that I was in a different profession. I love what I do. I make a difference in little kiddos' lives. She works with special needs kids. I love to see the sparkle in their eyes. Whoa, that one just moved past me. Hold on a second here. I love to see the sparkle in their eyes and their face when they learn something new. Have a great day, great weekend, safe travels to you. I know she was one of the people who traveled more than 50 miles to be with her family. Let's see. Good morning, Tony. Thank you, Maddie, Taylor, and Nora as well. And Marilyn. Oh, this is a big one. Sorry to hear Jim missed Christmas. Hard lesson learned for him. Yeah. Depends on the means you grew up in. Coming from grandparents who lived through the Great Depression, we lived in meager ways growing up. My three brothers went to the Air Force. Two had to get their GED and lessons from the service, plus better pay than working in a bakery. We did not get much guidance other than work at a good company with benefits. We were raised to be tough and hardworking. I agree with that. I am not disappointed in my upbringing. We had it better than most living even in the world today. Life is not easy, but I feel the youth is handed too much. Okay, this is coming from someone, actually, I'm not going to say your age. It's up to you, Marilyn, if you want to. It is hard to work through life experiences, but too many today do not work through it. They move on to something else. Okay, I will agree with that one. I think that plays into the professional aspect and the personal aspect of it's getting too hard. I'm just going to move on. And that has to do with relationships that I see younger as well. Again, I would like to hear from the younger generation if you agree with this. They move on to something else. I see the continued broken homes and children suffering from that. Then I have this incredible, very young couple that moved in next door, and it gives me hope. They are amazing souls and loving neighbors. That's it. Have hope, because you can't just do a brushstroke and think that everybody fits into that same stereotype. That's really one of the reasons why we started this is everybody's different. Don't say, oh, the younger generation, they're lazy, they're entitled. I hear that and I disagree. I mean, look at Beckett, who's 15 years old. Look at Tia, who just turned 21. Hannah, who's 23. Zach, who is 25. They get up, they work, and they work hard. So who are these lazy? It's few and far between. Great conversations. Thank you. Have fun this weekend. I'm still up north. I agree with that. Okay, there we go. Marilyn told you she's 70 and proud. And I talk about my beautiful mother who's going to be 87 in March. And a lot of us start talking about these, and we are bridging that gap of broken down communication. Good morning to Diane, and thank you for the beautiful card that you sent to our house. She's watching over on Instagram right now. So yeah, from the fashion world, Diane and I have some ideas as we go into 2025. Can't believe that. Next week, talking about some new segments that I want to launch. This one, I believe, is going to be sticking around for a while. And again, if you didn't hear at the beginning of the show, I'd like to bring the Real Monica Adams team to your business, not for necessarily a live mobile Monica. If you can't afford that one, maybe you can afford a quick little check-in at your business, weighing in with us and doing some clips. And then, like we did today, showcasing, how many times have I said Sheer Studio? So she got a wonderful plug out of this, right? Go see her. If you like my hair, which my mom, by the way, was very complimentary, Sherry. She's like, I like your hair darker, honey. I'm like, of course you do, because that was the original color of my hair. Shocker. Breaking news. The color of my hair changes a lot thanks to the beautiful and talented Sherry Anderson. And I'm so glad that she went into that field. Okay, let's see. It's the 27th. Let's go ahead and read from Jesus Listens. And Marilyn, by the way, thank you for providing us with this from the late, great Sarah Young, author of Jesus Calling. This is Jesus Listens. Steadfast Savior, help me find joy in the midst of brokenness. One of the hardest times for me to be joyful is when I'm dealing with multiple problems, seeking solutions, but finding none. And then suddenly I'm faced with a new problem. I've found that if I focus too much on searching for solutions, I start to sink under the weight of all my difficulties. That really fits with what we were talking about today, right? Trying to feel the weight of the pressures of timelines and pushing people to be something they don't want to be. Please remind me at such times that you're present with me in the midst of my various trials. I need to trust that you're at work in my situation and that you're able to bring good out of evil. Your matchless wisdom and sovereign strength enable you to outsmart evil with good. I want to encounter you in my difficult circumstances, believing that you are near me in my troubles. I need to unplug my emotions from all the problems and plug them into your presence. By connecting with you, my dark mood grows steadily lighter and steadily brighter. Also, as I remain in you, plugged into your radiant presence, you enable me to see things from your perspective. I can be joyful even during adversity by staying connected to you. There is abundant joy in your presence. In your joyous name, Jesus. Amen. Okay, I got to remember to put this in my bag so that we can do December 31st together, because on the 30th, we'll be in studio with Faith Berger once again from the fashion industry for a long, long time. We're going to talk about Canvas for our youth, Canvas for kids. That'll be on Monday. We have our big celebration, end of year celebration. Be thinking about your favorite guests, stories, segments that we've done in 2024. If you're new, do me a favor and go back, scroll through on YouTube or Facebook, or unfortunately Instagram. Those do go away after our lives, but go back and find out the ones that you loved and go ahead and drop those in next Tuesday, because we've got a show on the road that we're going to do with myself, Michelle, Zach, maybe my hubby. I don't know. He's probably going to be working, but we would love to hear from you next Tuesday of the big stories that really stood out for you, whether it was national stories, local stories, stories we did and news you can use, stories we didn't get a chance to cover, or beautiful segments as well. I do want to say thank you to those of you that have reached out telling me some of the guests that you've loved that you would love to see back on. I had a conversation with Reed Lowe, and he would love to come back on and talk about his faith. And Joey Vitale, who we've been trying to have on for a while, Joey and I had a conversation, and we're thinking about doing me, Joey, and Reed all together. That will be a very strong faith-based show. We do have some other guests that I've been talking to try to bring back. Heather Kreider. We need to check in with her because last time we talked to her, her new book was not out yet. So hoping for that to be out very soon. And then let me look at my calendar real quick and tell you what's coming up in January besides what I've mentioned already. I can't forget about this one. So as we go into New Year's resolutions, Jennifer Williams, who is the owner of St. Louis Closet Company, she's going to be on Tuesday, January 7th. You don't want to miss this because you're going to see the before and after of the incredible transformation that we did in my closet. And if you don't think that getting organized can massively change your life, well, I will give you firsthand what it's done for me. So National Organization Month, which makes sense, is one of the big New Year's resolutions. But I'd love for you to start weighing in and drop those in for us next week. I put it into the comments today. What do you think the biggest New Year's resolutions are? What, by the way, do you think, let me do a little type here real quick as we're talking. What do you think was the most given gift for Christmas 2024? Let's see, most received, let's do this, most received gift, Christmas gift. You tell me, by the way, as we do this, what was your favorite gift that you got? You can drop that in as well. Most received gift, according to AI, according to the statistics, money. 40% of respondents said they wanted cash or a bank transfer. I don't think that's personal enough. Money and like gift cards. We've got so many gift cards that have not been used. Clothing, textiles, or shoes. 35% of respondents said they wanted clothing, textiles, or shoes. I fit into that category. Vouchers or gift cards got 30%. Food or drinks. Well, I guess that would be like gift cards to restaurants. 24%. Other popular gifts included electronics, toys, cosmetics, perfume, body care, board games, toys, and dolls. Event tickets. Oh, that's a good one. See, I like experiences. Computers and computer accessories. All right. So that was from an AI overview. But yeah, other than gift cards and cash, yeah, I mean, I'm not, again, you're never going to say, I don't want that, but I just like when you go that extra step and think about something that somebody said over the year and go, oh my gosh, I'm going to surprise them with that. Speaking of which, this is how I want to wrap up the show because I always say it. Let me take the jacket off and let me show you the shirt. One of my gifts that I got from our beautiful Michelle is this shirt because she said I didn't get one when we were down at Be Kind Cafe in DeSoto. So isn't that cute? It's what I always say. If it's a large amount of money, it is personal. If it's a large amount, my favorite gift was spending time with family. See, it's about experiences. But anyway, don't you love this? Thank you, Michelle. I love you, and you know exactly what I always want to say. So feel free to keep commenting. I'll see it after the show, but we're going to get on with the day. I want you to spend some incredible time with your family. Again, appreciate the moments you have together. Understand the blessings in those experiences that you have. Take some time. Please slow down when you're out on the roads. Be careful. I keep hearing about all these fatalities, and it's about the same as it was last year, but a lot of traveling. Again, as we mentioned at the very beginning of the show, a lot of traveling still taking place right now between that Thursday through Sunday time period. 80,000 travelers are estimated just at St. Louis Airport, at Lambert Airport, ahead of New Year's Eve. So be very, very careful. Let's see. Marilyn says, this is the thing. Kids opening gifts these days versus we absolutely loved any and every gift. I have several friends that know the best gift, but why just exchange cash and gift cards? Yes. My mom actually said that. My mom, as we were giving my great niece and great nephew their gifts, they literally would open and push it, open and push it. And she was like, they don't even know what they're getting. And it was very much frustrating my mother. A little overload of gifts, right? Appreciate. All right, everybody. Have a beautiful Friday into the weekend. Again, grab the umbrella just for the annoying sprinkles that'll be out there. And nice to see the sun coming back, but it won't be until midweek, Beckett says. Monday morning, again, Faith Berger in studio with us in Brentwood. Tuesday on the road with our big wrap-up show. But before any of that, we would love to see you tomorrow. Again, Sugar Creek Winery. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your coworkers, bring your enemies. I don't care. We're going to have a good time together. We will see you with the live broadcast from 1:30 to 3. Again, but come earlier, stay late, enjoy. If you've never been, it's so gorgeous. But we're going to look at the progression over the years. Zach Kimball will be directing for us. Michelle will be there doing some producing and doing a second camera view for us. And then I'll be there hosting and with all of you. We're going to have a little merriment together, talk about good food, drinks, music, hopefully some giveaways. It's just going to be a good time. I can't wait. We are celebrating Chroma. I don't understand that. At tomorrow, my daughter and son-in-law are on their way from Kentucky today. Is that supposed to be Christmas? Okay, there we go. Christmas. Julie, fat thumbed it. All right. Well, whatever you're doing, if you can't come out and join us tomorrow at Sugar Creek, we would love to see you. Marilyn, I know she's such a sweetheart. Marilyn's got 9. Get there early. Get your tables together. Somebody wrote me yesterday and asked if they needed to buy tickets. No, it is an event open to the public. You're going to buy your drinks and your food on your own. You're going to listen to some good music. You'll be there for our broadcast, and we're going to have a big time together in the new enclosed outside patio. Go up and see the distillery and the wonderful vodka and brandy that they have there. Obviously, go to the tasting room and pick your favorite bottle of wine. Come on out. If you want a mocktail, you want some water, you're the designated driver. Kudos to you. Thank you. We always need those as well. But we would love to see you and do the one thing that we always say, and that is meet somebody new. Get out of your way. Bring your friends along, but talk to another table and do what we ask, which is this. Be kind. God bless you all.